This is a story of a man who had everything, yet searched for more. A journey which showed him that he had left behind the very thing he had been seeking all along. This man is myself. In my regretful journey, traveling into the abyss of Steam Workshop maps. Beneath the surface of Ravenfield's vibrant workshop lies a hidden world, a realm of mods that rarely see the light of day. Now, for clarity's sake, I'm focusing specifically on map mods. There are hundreds, no, thousands of maps that have quite literally been seen by almost nobody. This side of the workshop is full of low effort, broken, boring mods of an unknown purpose. Now, why would I bother to be in this cold, dark, scary place when I could bask in the glory of popular, fun, and proven mods and modders? Why leave that? Because of none other than naivety and greed. You see, I took all these great mods for granted, but I wanted more. I believe that there could be more outside the safety of the front page. I wanted to find a hidden gem. This simple goal nearly cost me my sanity, and I wish to share with you what I saw and experienced, so without further ado, the underbelly of Ravenfield. Before descending deeper into the map modding iceberg, it's essential to understand the life cycle of a mod on the workshop. This is best shown by following an example of a known successful mod, Tunnel Revisited. Outside of direct searches, a new mod's only exposure comes from appearing under the most recent section, which is where Tunnel Revisited started. From there, a mod must catch and enthrall viewers in order to survive. Tunnel Revisited does a great job at this, using a standout, polished thumbnail as well as an effective title. After all, what Ravenfield player isn't the least bit curious on an improved vanilla map? Based on the surrounding mods, it's hard not to click it. Tunnel Revisited was certainly successful, gaining views and subscriptions. With a strong early performance, a mod graduates to appearing in the most popular page. This is a prime spot for any mod, and Tunnel Revisited was no exception. This snowballed to more visibility and can even place a mod onto the front page to be seen by just about anyone who visits the workshop. This system makes the workshop fairly democratic, with player approval driving a mod's success. However, it also means that mods failing to stand out during their brief time and most recent have almost no chance of becoming relevant later. They fade into obscurity unless they happen to be discovered through direct searches. Given how fast the workshop moves, I believe some truly great maps may have slipped through the cracks, and boy, was I wrong. Since finding a so-called hidden gem was my goal, it seemed pertinent to start at the very bottom and work my way up. So, the most obscure map in Ravenfield history. That distinct honor goes to Canyon Township Rebellion, with a staggering 2 whole views and 1 lone subscriber. And what does a map like this look like? Well, about what you'd expect. Of all the maps, this is one of them. It's quite minimalist. Alright, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This map isn't great. It's unreasonably large, bad sun choice, bad lighting, bots don't even use their vehicles, and the map just doesn't look great. Unfortunately, by testing it, I brought the view count up to a whopping 3, increasing its visibility by 50% overnight. In doing so, I accidentally tied it with another masterpiece, Operation Elau. But don't worry, that tie didn't last for long. Welcome to the 4 View Club, Operation Elau. In total, there exist 15 different maps that have below 10 unique views, all of which feature a painfully simple in-game map editor creation with poor pathfinding, bad thumbnails, and designs that resemble forgotten placeholders rather than actual battlefields. I'm not really sure what I was expecting, but I very quickly realized that these maps were not a unique circumstance. While the lack of views might seem shocking, they're just the most extreme examples from a much larger pool. In fact, there are hundreds of maps just like this in the workshop. Out of the roughly 9,000 maps available, about 1,800 of them have fewer than 100 unique visitors. And that's just views, not even downloads. Less than half of maps on the workshop have managed to cross the 100 subscriber mark, with about 4,800 stuck underneath 100 subs and about 4,200 surpassing that threshold. It's crazy to think that more than half of maps are barely even played. So what's going on? Are these maps simply unlucky victims of how the Steam Workshop operates, or are they just low effort mods that never had a chance? I wanted to dig deeper and find out. Starting at the sub 100 views mark, a pool of 1,800 maps. It can't be that bad, right? Let's test out a random map. Oh god, this was a bad idea. I'm not joking when I say this, but I'd say a single one of these maps was worth playing. Look at this. Just look at these maps. What is going on? It's like someone was held at gunpoint and told, Make a map in 30 minutes and put it on the workshop, or else. Taking the time to go through these maps was agony, and I was already regretting trying to find a hidden gem, and I had just started. What can you expect from these maps? Islands. Lots and lots of islands. Bad pathfinding and avoidance boxes. Maps with no sense of scale. Overall bland and lacking appeal. This map is called Made by a 4-year-old, and quite honestly, I believe it. Note the avoidance box encompassing the flag. This one had bots running like crazy and jumping to their deaths. This map is genuinely a wasteland. I would say, what on earth, but this terrain is clearly alien. In the name of the sofa, the tugs, and the John III, please save me from these cursed maps. By the way, Tugs is Jesus in that joke, as one day he will resurrect and make a new map again. I tried to run a couple more tests to figure out why the heck these maps were so bad, and I think I found my reasons. 99.9% of these maps were in-game map editor creations, which isn't exactly bad, but it's more likely to be low effort. According to descriptions, about 14% of the 1800 maps were indicated as the author's first map ever. 90% of maps didn't bother to include more than one image, and about 25% didn't bother to write a description of more than 10 characters. So it's quite clear that these maps weren't getting views because of unluckiness, but an overall lack of effort and experience. After a while, my standards for a good map dropped so low that if a map looked remotely interesting, I was excited. Here's the best of what the 1800 map pool had to offer. First up, the Siege of Ravenfield Isle, 84 unique visitors and 17 subscribers. After sifting through so many uninspired maps, this one was actually pretty solid. It's an amphibious landing style map with a beach assault, trench warfare, a small village, and a final push to the main base. For something made using only the in-game map editor, it's pretty well done. The balance, however, is terrible. The flag positions are way too deep, creating bottlenecks that make it nearly impossible for the Eagles to break through. Their far spawn means they're constantly trickling into combat without full force. So I had to abuse caps lock just to claim the third point. Honey Badger Road, 67 views, 15 subscribers. This map I thought was actually good. The map was functional, bots actually utilized areas and buildings, visually solid with custom assets and a well thought out layout, and above all else, had balanced gameplay and was kind of fun. I was pretty impressed by this map, and while not a hidden gem per se, definitely criminally underrated. I think I might keep this after it's all said and done. Isle of Conflict, 95 views, 27 subs. The workshop is riddled with island maps, probably because the editor starts you out in an ocean, but this one had a nice aesthetic. It wasn't unnecessarily huge, featured multiple combat lanes, and had a bit of a charm. The detail of the map was concise and felt organic. Despite the bots not using the vehicles, it's a map that, with some custom assets and maybe a bit of technical tweaking, could be decent. Based on the rest of the maps I've seen so far, this map looked like Van Gogh made it. T1 WC V6. 49 views, 7 subscribers. At first glance, there's not a lot going on. It looks fairly average, and honestly, the gameplay is very simple. But I had nothing but respect for this creator simply because of the level of detail on this map, particularly in areas you'd least expect it. The main flags and combat areas have some nice scenery, such as this cabin area, or this small fort featuring an actual bunker setup. These details are cool, but not what I'm talking about. I mean this. Bothering to build a secret cave in the back of the map, an entire secret passageway into the middle of this mountain to a secluded house, rock formations, mini atolls, and a UFO hidden so far away that the player quite literally can't see them. A small barrel island, 2 random submerged hangars, this raft boat, this random island with a cross on it, this hidden cross under the map, this tucked away home decorated with boxes, a random pillar in the corner, and so many other things that in a normal game would never have been seen by the player or used by bots. This map contains so many meticulous and intentional details that it almost reveals some sort of story or world building, which I thought was cool, even if the pathfinding and map doesn't play amazingly. And that about wraps up all that the sub 100 view category had to offer. It was tough, but I got out of the trenches and can move on to a slightly better map pool. Except, there was one last thing that caught my eye. And I know I've found the weirdest map creator of all time. And I'm sorry, I just need to talk about this because this workshop absolutely blows my mind. The map in question is Tropical Islands, and according to Google Translate, the creator goes by the name AK7. At first glance, it looks like your average ugly map editor creation, 5 islands and a giant volcano in the middle. But oh no, this map this is only the beginning. Tropical Islands was AK7's first map, and let me tell you, he was nervous about it. The description literally begged for 5 stars, please please please. Less than 15 days later, AK7 drops a new map, Tropical Island Grass version. Maybe a necessary sequel, a fan requested update. No. The first map barely had any attention, with 168 views and 36 subscribers. The Grass version, even worse. But AK7 is not easily deterred. Oh no, he kept going. Tropical Islands Old version, Tropical Islands Steel Bridge, Tropical Islands New Painting. 1 year in, he drops an anniversary map. Now you're probably thinking, why? Why so many Tropical Islands? And I have no idea. These maps have barely any players, but AK7, he keeps making them. 2022, big year for Tropical Islands. We got 4 more, including a Christmas edition where AK7 sends out the message, Merry Christmas, and a nice Ravenfield. Steel Raven is the only hope. I believe Steel Raven. Ditto, my friend. Ditto. And you're probably thinking, okay, surely by now this has to stop. But nope, enter 2023 and we get a New Year's edition. In AK7's comments, they get even weirder. He posts an Easter map and decides to drop the traditional Mexican folk song, La Cucaracha. This was followed by a Pride Month version, a new Tower edition, and a 3rd anniversary map with random lyrics featuring Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash, Hey Jude by the Beatles, and Highway to Hell by AC/DC. At least AK7 has good taste. That opinion would not last, with 2023 Christmas and a Halloween version dropping, containing more songs such as Five Nights at Freddy's fan song and the Skibbity Toilet song. AK7 also commented some Buddhist enlightenment, mountain is mountain and water is water. Enter 2024 and surely he's done, right? Wrong. We get another Easter map featuring a full-on rant about more and a quote from French philosopher name that I can't pronounce, life is the C choice between B, birth, and D, death. And finally, we get the Tropical Island 2024 Songkran celebration and the 4-year anniversary map, where AK7's comments are more bizarre than ever. He asks for mod of the year, throws in a pirate song and some ASCII art, and reaffirms, Tropical Island will survive, no worries. I also laughed at him commenting his own noise because Titanus didn't, but that wraps up all the Tropical Islands so far. I am at a complete loss for words. These maps get 0 downloads, barely any views, and yet there are 20 Tropical Island variants. Just why? Why are there so many random images painted on each island? Why is the center map a rainbow? Why is the map so huge? This man took the time to place hundreds and hundreds of random assets all over the map. For what? Who are these maps for? I don't get it. AK7 might be the most relentless map creator this game has ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. There are just 143 modders with over 20 maps. In AK7, he has the lowest subscriber to mod ratio, about 7 subs per map, and he's still making more. Why does he do this? I have no idea. I genuinely wish I understood what's driving this dedication, but honestly, all I can say is, Godspeed AK7, looking forward to the next Tropical Islands remake. Back to, oh right, finding a hidden gem. And unfortunately, that will have to wait, as this entire project has taken more time than I expected, and I'd rather break it up into 2 videos than burn out. So that's sort of why this introduction is so long, because this video will have a whole other half. Also, I'm reading a disk write error for workshop downloads, and I ended up reinstalling Ravenfield and my mods, which took a bit of time. And also now my mods are in chronological order, so I have like 100 really shitty maps spread out everywhere. So I'll have to take the time to clean that up as well. But yeah, in the next video, I will tackle maps in the 100 and below subs category, as well as the 100 to 250 subs category, which covers a couple thousand more maps. I've got a lot of other great stats to show, and I found some rather interesting maps, so feel free to subscribe if you want to stick around for the next video. So anyways, until next time, peace.